So the last video I did was all about doom and gloom with the markets. I presented you with historical evidence that helped me form my decision. And now somebody who has way more knowledge than I have is basically saying I'm wrong or I jumped the gun. I'm Afro Senpai, and I'm interested in everything related to the average person like you and me becoming wealthy. In this video, I'm going to talk about the evidence that's the opposite of the last video I posted so you can make an informed decision. Let's go. We're looking at what Tom Lee, Fundstrap Manager, is saying about the market.
If you're macro, you might say we're facing economic Armageddon. That's something that Bridgewater has talked about, a different world order. Some people talk about the end of American exceptionalism. Others say that the top is in for the US stock market. And of course, there's many people telling you that you should only be in gold and muni bonds. But the story of the equity market has been different. 4 signs that a bottom is in. At the end of the day, I think the equity market got this right, and things are now resolving positively for stocks. So what are these signs of a bottom? Well, there's 4 of them. The VIX closed below 31 after going above 50. On April 22nd, again, happened this week, we had 2 consecutive 90% advancing days. That means that stocks within a couple of days apart had posted 2 days where the advancing gains were 90% or more. On Wednesday, April 23rd, the high yield market options adjusted spread recovered 50% of the widening. What I mean by that is on January 24th, high yield spreads were 292. They exploded to 530 basis points wide on April 7th, but they touched 409, which is below the 50% retracement. That's a positive development because we are now walking back from a recession risk. If high yield spreads had gone from 500 to 1,000, a recession was guaranteed. Triggered this week on April 24th, which is the Zweig Rust. It's developed by Marty Zweig. It looks at a 10-day moving average of advancing versus declining issues. And the idea is when it goes from oversold, a reading below 0.4, and then back to 0.615 over 10 days, that's a bullish reversal. That has happened 11 times since 1978. And notably, 1 month, 6 months, and 12 months later, stock markets are always up. And this was triggered on April 24th, which was Thursday. So the last thing, of course, that would probably convince everybody that the bottom is in is if the stock market recovered 50% of its decline, which is 54.91 on the S&P. So that's the level to watch. The S&P peaked at 61.47 on February 18th. It fell to 48.35 on April 7th. The halfway recovery point is 54.91, and we closed on Thursday at 54.85. So we're 6 points away, 0.1%. So almost there.
In the previous video, I was talking about how I'm using trend lines to look at what SPY's doing, and as you can see here, we've broken a little bit out of that trend line into a more positive territory. And so what I think I'm going to do is keep the safer stocks that I've already bought up, like my Costco, AutoZone, Texas Land Trust, and Exxon, as a safety net, because after 2025, when I'm done challenging myself to become a millionaire, that's what I would naturally put my money into. But now that things are looking more positive, I'm going to start buying back into tech stocks slowly but surely. Although the bulk of my money in stocks is related to Bitcoin and its performance, when I do have the opportunity to buy other stocks, I'll start buying up those tech stocks that I love, specifically Palantir. The one thing I hate about financial YouTubers is one day it's bearish, the next post is bullish, and then they oscillate back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then you're like, oh my gosh, what do I actually pay attention to? So I'm calling myself out on it. Before people started roasting me in the comments for the video that I just posted about how bearish things look, I wanted to roast myself, presenting you with both sides of the story, and you do what you do. And that's going to do it for this episode. So let me know in the comments if you appreciate that honesty. Share this with somebody who's wondering, should they get into the market? Should they stay out of the market? And remember to pay that like tax. The book is about to drop, folks. If you want to be on the pre-sale list, look for the D Corp email in the description. Email me with the subject line book so you can get 50% off the sale price. This will be one of the greatest works that I've ever produced in my lifetime. And I'm 100% confident that it's going to help you build your wealth confidently. And until the next one, remember to smile because you are beautiful. Peace.